Hello, everybody. Mary again. Welcome to episode 10 of Keto Coach. I'm calling this week's episode The Need for Speed. Basically, I see pretty much on a daily basis, someone will go on to either my Keto Mary 71 page on Facebook, or they'll post in the Ketogenic Success group about not losing weight very fast. I saw one post recently that kind of like inspired my idea for this week's episode, where a woman was posting that she lost 20 pounds her first month, but now it had been an entire week and she was going up and down the same 1 or 2 pounds. Wow. I don't think I lost 20 pounds my first month. I did lose 13 pounds in the first 14 days, and it was mostly water. And 20 pounds in a month is fantastic. I don't know where this mindset comes from that it should be that we should lose weight faster than that. I mean, that's a great first month of keto. And, 1 week going by and you're fluctuating up and down 1 or 2 pounds. That is nothing to be upset about. So anyway, I see a lot of these types of posts, people getting really upset about their weight loss being slow, or slowing down. So let me just say this. If you've lost anything at all, then it's working. And you just need to be patient. Most of us did not gain weight overnight. We put it on over a period of years and years and years that it took us to become obese. So we have to realize that we're not going to just take it off really fast. Let me say, too, that taking it off fast isn't necessarily great either. A lot of people ask the questions about loose skin, and I think one of the reasons why the only place I really have it is my abdomen, because that's where I was largest. But it took the first year I lost 83 pounds, and then to get off the last 17, it took 6 months. So, it significantly slowed down. Of course, I was working on building muscle at the same time, so there's that scale battle going on. But I think the fact that I lost it slower like that, along with the fact that keto is high fat, really helped me in the area of loose skin, because with 106 pounds lost, I truly expected a lot more of it. So don't get caught up in needing to lose weight really quickly, and thinking that, because 1 week goes by that you're in a stall. Let's talk about that for a second. What is a true stall? A true stall is 4 or more weeks with no movement on the scale and no loss in inches or, change in your clothing. That's a stall. If you only lost only 1 or 2 pounds in 4 weeks, and you're upset about that, that is not a stall. It's just slow progress. So, and that's okay. Progress is progress. So that a true stall is absolutely no movement. And let me talk about stalls. Say one thing about stalls. I have never tried any like gimmicky type stuff to break a stall. I've not tried an egg fast or fasting or cutting my calories or any. I've never tried any of those things to try and break a stall. I just dealt with it because I knew they were part of the process. And I just figured if I was doing everything right, which I was pretty sure I was, then if I just kept going, eventually the stall would break. And that happened every time. My longest stall was 9 weeks. The scale just stayed, like, seriously, like every time I weighed, I was the same exact weight. And I wasn't losing any inches. I was just like stuck for 9 weeks. And yes, it was very frustrating and I wanted it to be over. And several times I thought, oh, this is, why am I doing this? I'm not losing. But that was like the same bad attitude that I'd had times before when I got stuck and then chose to quit because, my mind wasn't right. So this time I had the 9-week stall, I just pushed through. And that's all you can do is just keep doing what you know to do. If you're doing the right thing, you just keep going and eventually the stall will break. So the other thing I want to address is like expectations. I think that sometimes people have very unrealistic, unreasonable expectations. It's reasonable to expect a half a pound to 2 pounds a week weight loss. If you're losing at a rate of more than 2 pounds a week, fantastic. That's great. And if you're losing at a rate of half a pound a week, fantastic. That's great. Even if you only lost 1 pound a week, and I use the word only, I don't like that word. If you lost 1 pound a week, that's still 52 pounds in a year, which I'm sorry, that beats a sharp stick in the eye. It's 52 pounds you didn't, have on you. I mean, that's great progress. I think this idea that it should happen fast is really kind of ridiculous. And I'll be honest, I get frustrated when I see posts like that over and over because it's just not realistic to expect it to just fly off. We have to have a good attitude and we have to realize that this is not a quick fix, that, if you're frustrated because it's not going fast enough because you think that keto is just going to fix you and then you could go back to, eating carbs, that's a mistake on your part. You can't do that. So if you're thinking that keto is a lifelong change, you're changing your lifestyle and this is the way you plan to eat the rest of your life, then what's the hurry? The whole idea is to get there. It shouldn't matter when we get there. So it took me 19 months to reach my goal of losing 100 pounds. And when I got to the point on the scale where I was down 100 pounds, do you think that I was like, oh man, it took me 19 months to get here? Heck no. I was like doing the happy dance, taking pictures of the scale and going online and saying, hey, I'm in Wonderland. Not Wonderland. I'm at goal, 100 pounds. I did the same thing when I hit Wonderland. I got really excited. So, we shouldn't look at the negatives, or if it's even I don't even think it's a negative. We shouldn't look at it negatively if we're losing slowly. If we're losing, we're losing. Now, if you're absolutely not, you started keto and you don't lose 1 pound, then you need to reevaluate. You need to figure out what it is that's going on. Because a lot of times people, don't lose or hit a stall because they're not eating real food. Their version of keto is like all frankenfood. They're eating sugar-free Jell-O. They're eating low-carb breads and tortillas. They're eating 3 times a day in snacks, so they're just taking in too much food, or they're putting a whole stick of butter in their coffee 3 times a day. That's totally not necessary. So you really just, if you are absolutely not losing a pound, then you have to evaluate everything you're doing and make sure that what you're eating is actually keto. Because, a lot of people make that mistake. So what else? Okay. Then regarding the weight fluctuations, I just did a post about this today because I see people getting really upset about, that one day they're one weight and the next day the scale is up 2 pounds and they're freaking out. I've gained 2 pounds. What am I doing wrong? Well, you're probably not doing anything wrong. Our weight naturally fluctuates every day, and it can fluctuate anywhere from 1 to 5 pounds, and maybe sometimes more for some people. So like yesterday, I weighed 155, and then this morning I decided to weigh, and I weighed 158. I did not freak out, oh my God, I gained 3 pounds, because technically my weight is up 3 pounds from yesterday, but did I really gain 3 pounds? No. Absolutely not. I did not. And there's many variables and factors to take into consideration. One is I worked out. I did a pretty hard workout yesterday. So my muscles are retaining water today. Shark Week's coming. I live in Texas and it's super hot. I was really thirsty yesterday and drank a lot of water. So there's all these things that affect the scale. And no, you are not gaining fat or true weight overnight, 2 pounds or 3 pounds or 4 pounds. It's not real. So you need to stop giving the scale so much power, and just realize and accept that our weight fluctuates. That's just part of it's just life. It's part of the process. As long as your overall trend on the scale is downward, so like on June 1st, you know, weigh one thing, and then at the end of June you weigh less, then the trend is downward. And that's all you need to focus on. You don't need to focus on these daily fluctuations and freak out and think that you're doing something wrong. It's just not necessary. So, okay. This is week's hopefully it's a little shorter and sweeter than usually. So I just want everyone to remember that even slow progress is progress. And I'll see you next week for episode 11.